stunting. I set the pace when I'm running. I always take what I want and I always give it 100. Don't need a bank, no I'm funded. Play the game like it's nothing. I'm always thankful for something. Don't take for granted, stay humble. Now wake up! It's time to look at the enemy. Look in the mirror if he is no friend to me. It's not working out, maybe it's the chemistry. It's time to break up so I can make a better me. Better believe in your mind, cause it's everything. You can mold, shape, find almost anything. All it takes is some time and some clarity to find your identity. It's mind over everything.
When you come to Cedar Point, sometimes you bring backpacks, fanny packs, phones, keys, sometimes you win prizes. So like whatever, you're carrying around some stuff. And then you get up to a ride and there's a bunch of people going in, there's a big long line, and the person in the front of the line, the worker, says,
"Your bag has to go into a locker or something not right."
"I'm sorry, you need to go that way and get yourself a locker." To avoid that kind of stuff, I see a lot of questions. People online want to know what rides have little cubbies, what rides don't, what you can bring on certain rides. So what we're gonna do today is show you what you can take on rides. We're gonna ask the line attendants, like, hey, what exactly can you bring on here? What can't you bring on? We're gonna show the rides that have cubbies, that don't, all that good stuff. So I hope you enjoy this video. Stick around through the entire thing because it's going to be chock full of good information. So our first ride that we're showing is Iron Dragon. You can see no cubbies right there. But since it's not a crazy ride, you're allowed to bring most things onto it. You're allowed to bring on backpacks and hats and whatever. Yeah, phones and that. Most rides you can bring what you can fit in your pocket. Every ride except one, you can bring what you can fit in your pocket. That's the first ride. We're not going to go on every single ride. We're not going to show everything.
Oh, we can talk about.
But we can talk about what we know.
Because we know all the rest.
Now, Millennium are one of the rides that, since you exit off of a different platform than you enter, you're not allowed to bring anything other than what's in your pockets. They have lockers over there, right by the entrance, and that is where they'll tell you to go if you have any drink cups or bags or anything like that.
And again, you can take anything that fits in your pocket.
So next up is Val Raven. Now, we know they don't have cubbies here, but we're gonna ask him, the line attendant, what we are or aren't allowed to bring on.
They do have cubbies, but they're only for your shit.
They're small cubbies.
Your bag has to go into a locker or something not right.
There we saw in action someone saying that they have a backpack right there, and that is not allowed. And he would have said the same thing probably with what, drink cups or anything like that? Anything?
Grocery bags, drink cups, bags that go over the shoulder that are more than the size of a piece of paper.
Okay. So that's what's not allowed in line, because the small cubbies are just for like hats and shoes. And then whatever you can fit in your pocket. So on Val Raven, you have these, which aren't that big. So that's why you can't really put much more than shoes or maybe hats in there. All right, so we are in line for Maverick. Maverick is one of the rides that actually has bins. They have large bins. So if you have anything like look, someone has a backpack. If you have larger things, you're allowed to bring it in to this line opposed to some of the others. All right, so these are the large cubbies they have. So you can fit a lot of stuff in there. So Maverick, like I said, that's why this ride you can bring on more stuff than most any other ride. All right, so we are now coming up to the most restrictive ride in the park. You have lockers. See all those people on the at the lockers? That's because you're not allowed in line with anything like, you see backpacks over there and stuff. You're not allowed in line with anything other than what you can fit in your pocket. But even then, you have to put it in a free locker inside the line. We'll show that here in a second. When you go through most of the line, you'll come into the little tunnel area, and over to your left you see a bunch of lockers. Once you get to the end of the tunnel, you can veer off to the left and it will take you to these lockers. Okay, so you'll come up, you'll find an empty screen, which back here you'll find an empty screen, and when you find it, you hit rent, and then you got to put in your birthday. You put in your birthday twice, and then it'll give you a list of things to choose from. So you pick from those items, and it'll tell you the locker, and your locker will pop open automatically. Gemini, I just saw some people getting into line with backpacks and that. Guess that is another one. Most of the rides here are pretty good with being able to bring things on.
And this does have bins.
Yeah, so this one has bins, and it's mainly going to be a lot of your bigger, newer rides. And the reason that some rides don't have bins is because it kills capacity for people to like go and put all their stuff away and then come back. It just takes too long, so they don't like to do it on a lot of the more popular rides. So those purple things right there, those are the big bends. Those are like what you saw over in Maverick, and that's for you to put all your stuff in. And that's why this ride has like more lenient policy for bringing things into line. All right, we got Magnum. Magnum is one of the rides with the bins. A binned ride, as we could call it. He wants to go on it, but it hurts. So, but one thing you can bring on it are some Nerf to put on your thighs so it doesn't hurt. So that's one thing that you definitely should bring on Magnum if you decide to ride it. Corkscrew, we're not going to ride it. A lot of these we're not going to ride because we don't feel like riding some of these. But if we know, which most of them we do know, what they have, we'll just tell you. And these have bins. So far it seems like most rides have bins, right?
Yeah.
Most rides aren't going to make you get a locker or anything like that. They're just like the select few, like I said, the newer rides. Now, what about this ride right here? This long, really tall one that you can't see because there's trees right there.
I think that's the Magnum.
That's Magnum right there. So, assuming Top Thrill Dragster comes back, that is one of the rides that you unload in a different part than you load in. So that's one that you can't have bags or anything like that. Anything that fits in your pocket is fine, but anything that you would have to leave will not work. Backpacks, drink cups, anything like that. They will let like fanny packs and that on. So if you're watching this in 2023 or something and they open back up, then that's how that works. So figure I'll throw that in there. And if they decide to permanently close it, then you can ignore this part. Rougarou, one of those rides, kind of like Gatekeeper and Valraven, where they only have a small little cubby for just like shoes, and you can maybe put a hat in there or something.
Right.
So the line attendant, we wanted to specify with her exactly, and in line we did see her turning away some people with over-the-shoulder back, like any bags that have straps that go over the shoulder.
Yeah, because like I said, the bins are just for shoes and maybe like a hat. Yeah.
Very small. Anything that you can fit in your pocket, and fanny packs are allowed. But fanny packs are allowed on most rides. See, a lot of people think that fanny packs aren't allowed on most rides, but they are allowed onto quite a few rides. Steel Vengeance being like one of the only ones that it's not. The next ride is Gatekeeper, and Gatekeeper is like Valraven, small cubbies where you can only bring on like I think right here we have some people trying to bring on a backpack and they're being told not to. I think that's what we're being told. Yes. So you have to do lockers. There's lockers kind of right behind where the queue is. And all you're allowed to bring on is what can fit in your pocket or what can go into the small cubby. All right, 2 roller coasters that we haven't mentioned. Blue Streak, which is back there. We're not even going to ride it today, but it just bins. It's one of them with bins. And then, yeah, so you can
put anything in there, anything.
And then the other one is right here, front of the park, Raptor. That one also has bins. Like we said, a lot of the older rides will have bins.
Like
and
regular bins.
And then a lot of the newer rides will either have nothing because it helps with capacity, or they'll just have like little cubbies, like a lot of the inverts, or not necessarily inverts, but like floorless, like Valraven being floorless, and Rougarou being floorless,
Right, yeah.
and Gatekeeper technically being floorless. It has no floor.
I mean, technically. Yeah.
Technically. But yeah, this big green thing has bins, so you can take stuff. Like here, there's someone walking on with a backpack. Subscribe, like, comment, do all that stuff, and I hope you enjoy the video.